I don't want to do this. I'm a grown man with bad facial hair and questionable tattoos. Okay. Zoella. A quick chat, if you will. I posted a video where I mocked your calendar. I wasn't expecting you to see it or reply, but that's the history of this video. I noticed that you've put a new vlog out and you've addressed the calendar in that vlog. I watched your video and it wound me up a lot. Let's get into your video. So first of all, people were upset at the calendar, more specifically the price, and you wanted to address it because you do care and you don't want to upset or disappoint people. Well done for addressing it. I think obviously that's very important. Good. You worked on it for a whole year and you love the product. I mean, it's debatable. You were happy with it. Fine. That's fine. That's where your input ends, and you're upset because the price wasn't your decision. Somebody else made that decision. To quote you, I feel just as let down by this also. The price of any product is up to a retailer, and I know that some of you might not have known that. I get it, okay? It's not you, I get it. You're doing your best in this video to tell us all that you didn't look at it and believe it was acceptable to charge £50 for the advent calendar. That's nothing to do with you at all. I make the product, I designed the thing with the green and the rose gold and what's going to go in it. That's all me. Done, dusted. Right, there you go. Oh, you're going to charge £50 for it? Nothing to do with me. And some people indeed came out defending you, saying she doesn't set the price and she has to make profit somewhere. If I may, I would like to quote a chunk of what you said in your video. I don't want people to think that I'm like sat at home, like counting £50 every time someone buys this calendar, thinking that was a conscious decision that I made to rip people off. Because if you know me, you would know that there is not a bone in my body that would think that way. And it makes me so sad that anybody would think that that was my intention, because that is 100% not my intention. My intention was to make a product that I thought you guys would love, which I still think is a product that I still think you would love. It's just been completely ruined by a decision that I didn't make. You've addressed the fact that you didn't set the retail price. I understand that. I don't want people to think I'm sat at home counting £50 every time someone buys this calendar, thinking that was a conscious decision. I don't think it was a conscious decision that you thought you were going to charge £50 for that advent calendar. I wonder if it was a conscious decision to remain silent about the calendar until November. You've been so upset that you wait until the middle of November after the backlash. You waited till then to explain how let down, upset, frustrated you are. So why did it take so long? If you're that upset, why didn't you say something sooner? I don't know how you run your merchandise team. I don't know. I would assume that at some point in the process, somebody would come to you and tell you what a product is going to retail for. So let's say I'm right in that assumption. Can I assume if that happened, at that point, you were comfortable with selling it for £50? Someone else made that decision, but you were okay knowing it was being on sale for £50. I'll be kind, okay, and I'll believe that nobody came to you and told you, or no one in your team knew. Cosmopolitan and the Metro ran articles about the advent calendar in September, the beginning of September. I think it was the 5th and the 7th. In those articles, they said that the calendar was going to be £50. I'll be super generous and I'll pretend that you didn't know the price of your calendar before then, so we'll say the 7th. Were you still okay with it then? I'm asking because it's now the middle of November. That's 2 months. 2 months of you being upset and frustrated and feeling let down, and this is the first that you're saying about it. It's 2 months of complete and utter silence, and then just having a brief mention at the end of your vlog after a ton of people get annoyed about it. Just a load of backlash. Yeah, I've always been upset about this. Was that when the price upset you? Middle of November or beginning of September, or in that mystical meeting that I've made up in my mind that didn't happen back in September? In your vlog you go on to say, I really hope the retailer will take this on board. Other people. So I counted, there were 11 times that you said the decision was made by the retailer or other people or not your people or not your team, and you had no input in the price. Diminished responsibility. You took no responsibility that something bearing your name, whether you have say in the matter or not, costs so much. Nowhere in your video do you admit knowing beforehand the selling price and being comfortable with it. Talk about why you waited this long to talk about it. You remained silent all that time. For all those reasons, you are responsible. Not the retailer, you. And can we just say that the retailer's Boots? I mean, forgive me if I'm wrong, but I've not seen it for sale anywhere apart from Boots. So we can just call them out. Boots, you have made horrible decisions with this. That's not my words, that's Zoella's. She's put the blame solely on you in her video. 11 times. Not directly, she didn't mention you by name. I can only assume because she wants to protect her relationship with you. She doesn't want to jeopardize the relationship in case she has any future business arrangements she wants to take with you. I may be wrong. There may be a different retailer, but you haven't mentioned anyone. You just said other people. They've done it. Not me, they've done it. Why don't you mention them by name? Why didn't you out them? Why didn't you call them out? I want to believe that you genuinely care, but shifting the blame without directly blaming anybody by name and taking no responsibility for the pricing doesn't come across as a sincere act to me. Not in the slightest. It just seems like you're covering yourself, trying to make people forget about it and paint yourself as wholly innocent. That isn't addressing it. Blaming someone else and pretending it's not you is something a child would do. It doesn't sound like you're upset about the cost of the product. It just sounds like you're upset that people are complaining. Why else would you wait until now? Why wouldn't you say something sooner? Why do I care about any of this? Well, I have family, I have friends. One of them is a young lady who'll be 11 when Christmas comes along. I know a lot of her friends watch your videos, they want your merchandise, and when Christmas comes, they will be, and already are, pressuring their parents to buy the calendar. You must know that's a huge ask of a parent, to expect them to spend almost a full day's wages or disappoint their child. And I know that's not your intention. I'm not saying that you intentionally go out of your way to put someone in that situation, but that's the reality of it. You're not a monster. I know you're not. You can't be. I refuse to believe that you'd be so horrible, but that is what's happening. And whether you are directly involved in the pricing of it or not, it carries your name, the buck stops at your door, and you have to accept responsibility. And this video, it didn't seem like you did. Sorry, but it didn't. It just seemed like it was everyone else's fault, that the pricing was what it was, not yours, and that's it. That's the end of the matter. We have to be okay with it. That just doesn't sound like you're sincerely let down. What does? If you don't mind, I've thought of some steps just to address what's going on, or just do things differently. First of all, and this is something you could have done retrospectively, you could have explained some of this sooner. Wait until now does just suggest that you're upset about other people being upset about it and not you, because you know there's a big backlash. That is something you could have done. Another thing you could do, second step, you could explain the agreement that you're making with the retailers going forward, or offer to remove your business with said retailer. I accept fully that you don't set the retail price, they do. So how are you going to avoid this in the future? And if you can't avoid it, if they're going to be stubborn with that, who are you going to go with? Because I'm sure there's other companies out there. Third, promise that it's not going to happen again. that kind of ties in with the second one, but I think it's important for people to know. I promise it's not going to happen again, and we go from there. Fourth, and this is a big one to ask, you could make an offer to donate half of your profit to charity. You could ask people on Twitter or your YouTube to comment on what charity they prefer. I just think it would be a nice step, and it would show that, you know what, hey, this is carrying my name. Even if I'm not fully responsible, I would like to do something with the money that you people are handing over, because you're not just buying a calendar now, you're also helping someone get money, you're helping someone get food from a food bank, or a homeless person who's going to be freezing this time of year. That's a sincere act, I think. Step 5, just take more responsibility. It carries your name. You have some say in this. It's not enough to just say, that's the cutoff point. Once I've designed it, it's out of my hand. I know you said in your video, and I'm paraphrasing, many people could learn things from this, or words to that effect. And that's true. And I think you have to accept that you're one of them. And this is something you can directly address. And if you see this, I hope some of it makes sense. I hope you know that I'm not attacking you. I'm just very annoyed. You're not the only person that does this. You do have a big following, and you can behave differently. People in your situation, if they show a different path to go down, then there's no reason why everyone else can't do it, I think. Good luck to you. Please don't just try and palm your fans, some of which are very young, impressionable people. Don't try and palm them off with a half-hearted, it was them, not me explanation. Cheers.